Today, we are taking you to a map tour of South Knoxville, our previous stomping grounds, AKA Sono. Sono has been ranked number 7 as the fastest growing city nationally. It made it to the top 100 cities to live in according to U-Haul rankings. We'll highlight its points of interest, major highways, schools, shopping, where to live. Did you want acreage or not? Your commute to downtown? But wait, we are saving 2 very special spots at the end of this video. Let's get after it right now. If this is your first time in the channel, subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first one to know about the current market in Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm Hilmar.
And I'm Christian with Castillo Realty, and we help people just like you every single day. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 9 months, please feel free to reach out to us, as all of our information is in the description box below. We'd love to help you make a smooth move to Knoxville, Tennessee.
People sometimes think that South Knoxville is just very close to downtown. And no, South Knoxville is huge, as you can tell. And we are going to highlight with Christian's handwriting that is about what South Knoxville looks like. So let's get into major roads. Let's start by Henley Street Bridge. And Henley Street Bridge was built between 1930 and 1931. And it was actually not to provide access to South Knoxville. It was to provide access to the Great Smoky Mountains. Actually, Henley Street Bridge went through a reinforcement in 2014. And at that time, the other bridge across to it through Gay Street was to be open to give easy access to South Knox. The Gay Street Bridge has a rich history dating back to the Civil War. The bridge is notable for its steel, pin-connected, thick arc, and continued cantilever design. It was also significant for carrying the city's first trolley line, which spurred development of South Knoxville. Now it is closed today, and it will not be car anymore. So it's only for pedestrians at this point.
Now, oh my goodness, I remember back in 2014 when the Henley Street was closed. That was brutal. That was probably one of the most heavily trafficked situations I've ever been in my life. And that was the first time I started driving too. And I mean, just to give you guys kind of an idea of, normal traffic, I would say in the morning from Henley Street Bridge was probably around here, probably to, I'd say, around here. And that's stretching it, right? That's stretching it. But whenever we got into actually creating the Henley Street Bridge or reinforcing it, we were stuck, I would say, all the way back here. And this right here from this spot to around this spot is probably about 10 minutes of actual just drive time. And I think, if I remember correctly, with the traffic, it was about 30 to 45 minutes just to get from point A to point B. Also, we could cross the Henley Street Bridge. So that was a brutal, 4 years? I think that was closed up.
I think
something like
very
that.
Close to 4 years. Yes.
It was awful. But, Gay Street Bridge did provide some really good, ease of access.
Now we're all happy with the Henley Street Bridge open, and it has 2 ways in and 2 ways out. So, and 1 turning lane to westbound.
To kind of look at other bridges and other access points, we're looking at James White Parkway, right? James White Parkway has this bridge right here, which eases the connection from, the east side of South Knoxville, right? All right, now that we talked about some of the bridges and the connections towards downtown Knoxville, let's talk a little bit about some of the major roadways within South Knoxville. First and foremost, we have 441, which is our biggest and probably most important highway throughout the entirety of South Knoxville, That connects you to Seymour, which eventually connects you to Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, and Dollywood, most importantly. Talking a little bit about the significance of this road, this was actually, well, it still is a super dangerous road, I'm not gonna lie. While, we grew up in this area, it was interesting to see how it's changed thus far. They're expanding Chapman Highway significantly because of all the accidents that have happened throughout the years on Chapman Highway. But still a very fantastic road that connects, pretty much the entirety of Knoxville all the way down to Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge.
Another big road is also 168, and that connects to 129. That if you've seen another of our videos, 129 goes to Maryville, the airport.
This is McGee Tyson Airport down here. So if you're looking to see one of our connection points, I'd say in Knoxville, you'd probably be coming here. You come up 129. So probably when you fly in, you're going to come up all the way from 129. And if you want to continue to downtown Knoxville, you come this way. And if you want to go towards South Knoxville, that's when you come through 168. And then eventually you get on 441, which is Chapman Highway. And that way you can either go towards Seymour and Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge or towards downtown Knoxville. If I'm remembering correctly, the drive time between downtown Knoxville wow, that's like the best circle I think I've ever done. Between downtown Knoxville and Seymour or to Gatlinburg, it's probably around, I think this right here is probably going to be around 30 minutes. And then to get all the way to Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, which is down here, you're probably looking at around 45 minutes to about an hour of drive time. So that's to kind of give you an idea of the drive time between downtown Knoxville, Seymour, Gatlinburg, and in between South Knoxville.
And really, we mention downtown as a point of reference because it's right there. You're in downtown Knoxville. After Henley Street Bridge, you are in South Knoxville passing the Henley Street Bridge. So that is the point of reference for everybody. And that's the reasoning of us mentioning at the beginning how big South Knoxville is. And it has nothing to do with downtown.
Mm-hmm. But just to kind of give you guys a point of reference with a bigger map, this right here is roundabout South Knoxville size. So very good size. I mean, you're looking at around, I think, again, 30 minutes, maybe 25 minutes here.
One more connecting or major road, it's also East Moody Avenue. East Moody Avenue connects, it's like a loop, and it connects through James White Parkway, and James White goes to I-40. And of course, I-40, you go east or west, and you are accessing the major metro area through James White.
One last major roadway that we have here in South Knoxville is West Governor John Sevier Highway. He was the first governor of the city of Knoxville, and so they decided to make this road in his name. And throughout here, you have a couple of historical sites. This is his cabin that he lived in at the time. It's a pretty cool location. We're going to put a couple of pictures and videos of James White's house, so check that out here coming up next.
Since we're talking about major roads, Chapman Highway, we mentioned how it has grown throughout the years. And of course, more groceries, hardware stores, gift shops, all of that has also grown. So we're going to take you a little bit of it. For grocery shopping, you have Kroger, you have Walmart. Sadly, there is no Target.
No Whole Foods, no Publix, nothing like that I can remember. We just have kind of these major retailers here. We also have a very kind of like unknown grocery spot. Yeah, unique, I would say. It's called UGO, United Grocery Outlet. And if I remember correctly, it's kind of around this area somewhere.
Yeah.
And this place is, I'd say it's on the cheaper side, but it still has like wonderful groceries and things like that. So
cheap groceries.
Right, cheaper groceries, which is kind of important in today's environment, to be honest with you. Now, to talk a little bit more about the other type of stores that we have around, we have quite a few hardware stores, to be honest with you. We've got Lowe's and Home Depot. I think Home Depot is like right around here. If I zoom in just a little bit, it should pop up. Yeah,
right
we have
there.
the Home Depot right here, and Lowe's is right here. So those are some pretty awesome spots. Now, to give you guys a little bit more about the restaurants and what you can do around, we have this beautiful place called Little Tokyo. It is a hibachi place, very delicious. We've got Ye Olde Steakhouse, which is just exactly what you think. It's a steakhouse, also incredibly delicious, though. Do not pass up Ye Olde
Yes,
Steakhouse.
and it has been there for over 20 years.
We've also got things like Taco Bell. And if we keep coming up this way, now we're at the Henley Street Bridge and we're looking at downtown. So not much more else about South Knoxville here as far as grocery stores and things like that. There are your hidden little restaurants, everywhere around the corner. So keep an eye out for those. But as far as major roadways and things like that, that's what we're looking at right now.
Moving on from the major roads, the retail stores, the grocery stores, we are going to talk about schools and where they are around the area. Now, we have about 3-4 elementary schools. Let's see if we can point them out. Dogwood Elementary, Griffin Elementary, South Knoxville Elementary, and Moreland Heights. Those are your elementary schools. And of course, it depends on, where you live and the school zoning. So you'll have to just plug your address. If you're thinking about moving to South Knox, just plug your address and see where the school zone is for you. Now let's talk about middle schools. And the most famous school you're gonna hear is South Doyle. And South Doyle, it's middle and high school, but we're gonna take you to the high schools in a minute. Now, the two other schools that pop in our map and we wanna mention are the Montessori school out there in South Knox and the school for the deaf. So, and that has been also there forever and ever since I know South Knoxville.
Now, another thing to mention is that these schools, if you want to get more information about them, they are on niche.com, or you can look at our previous video of the South Knoxville tour, where we talk a little bit about some of the schools and some of their rankings.
And as we told you a few minutes ago, South Doyle is the biggest school in South Knoxville. So if you live there and you have a high school kid, it'll probably go to South Doyle, but depending on how close you are to downtown, you might cross the bridge and your kid might go to another school out there. L&M, STEAM Academy, West High, any of those high schools out after the bridge, which is already past South Knoxville, might be a school that your kid will go if they're in the high school. Now that we have talked about the roads, we have talked about grocery stores and general stores, we have talked about schools. Let's show you places you can go when the kids are out of school. Now, before we get there, just make sure that you have liked, subscribed, and tap the bell for notifications so you don't miss a beat. Let's get to the coolest part of South Knoxville, and that is the reason so many people want to live there. This is all green space. And again, it might look small in the map, but it is huge. So we have IAMS Nature Center, the Urban Wilderness, the quarries. I mean, for outdoor lovers, Sono, as people call it with love, is your paradise. If you are the outdoor person, it's a must for you to live in South Knoxville. You can do your hiking, biking, climbing, paddling right there in the city, which is the most amazing part of South Knoxville.
All right, now to touch specifically on some of the greeneries and some of the biking trails, here's a biking map. For those who really enjoy biking, right? So you can kind of get an idea. Some of this stuff is going to be your mountain biking because these are going to be trails of all that kind of stuff. Here's huge. And we're talking probably around all of this area. We're probably talking about 3,000 acres, if I had to guess. I think IAMS Nature Center in and of itself is about 1,500 acres, right? And then we have a little bit of water frontage here, and we have quite a few bike trails for people to go around and ride their bikes. I think this is probably one of the most famous parts of the bike trails. I don't remember how many, but I think there are about 21 miles of trails just within this little bit right here of the Baker Creek Preserve. and the William Hasty Natural Area. These are all made to kind of conserve the greenery of South Knoxville, to make sure that this stuff doesn't go away anytime soon, right? And to kind of delve a little bit deeper on that, in IAM's Nature Center, we've talked about it before, and we will continue to talk about it because it is one of our favorite locations when it comes to just green land connected right next to downtown Knoxville. Because you are about, let's see, from IAM's Nature Center here to here, right? It's probably about a 10, maybe
Max.
Yeah, if there's traffic, 15 minutes, right? But it's something that you have your big city amenities right here, and you've also got your green spaces right here. So if you're looking to do something with the kids outside of school, you can definitely check out Mead's Quarry. There is a kind of like beachfront area. There's also a bunch of docks for you to be able to kind of go out, chill out, swim, do whatever you want. I know people go fishing there, people go paddleboarding, people go kayaking. There's so many things to do at IAM's Nature Center. Now, if you're looking at some of the parks around, we have Mary Myers Park. This is a beautiful park.
So there is Baker Creek Preserve, and that was recently redone, and it has, again, biking trails that were just redone. It has a park for the kids. It's also a lot of fun. So really, you can tell, no matter where you live in South Knoxville, you can hit a park very close to your home. Okay, let's move on. Now the kids are out of school, so you went to the park, but now you're hungry. So let's hit another great area in South Knoxville, Sevier Avenue. You're coming from the Baker Creek Preserve, you're right there on Sevier Avenue, and there's a whole street full of restaurants, breweries, I mean, you name it, it's there. Now, one of the places that we would like to highlight, and there is no paid advertisement, it's just that we do like the places. So we're gonna highlight Redbud Kitchen. And let's see if Christian can pull some of the information about it and talk a little bit about the menu and what they have to offer, because it is really good.
All right, so let's start off with a little bit of the menu. I kind of just wanted to take you guys through this so you can kind of enjoy the experience of being the first time at a restaurant like that. So there's a couple of food right there. There's, it seems to be kind of like comfort food, right? It's got a chicken avocado, it's got a quesadilla, it's got piggy smalls, hillbilly heap, some pickled chips and stuff like that. Very cool stuff right there. Now let's take a few pictures of some of the food. Yummy. That looks quite delicious. Let's see, tater tots with ketchup glaze. That sounds really good.
I don't know if they'll have a picture there of the shrimp and grits. Very good.
Look at this.
Oh, that looks so good. I think I'm gonna have that next time. Well, we're really gonna be hungry.
Yeah, look at this bad boy right here. Yeah. That's delicious. So Redbud Kitchen looks really good. We've also got, South Coast Pizza is also actually a very delicious spot. Some really, really good pizza. If you guys want to take a look at the menu right there, take a look. That is kind of what we've got. Some of their signature pizzas. Aegean Farm, Island Home, which is just a tribute to the Island Home area of South Knoxville, which we're going to get to here in just a minute. But let's take a look at some of these pizzas.
Yeah, they're very good. I had the buffalo chicken. It was so good.
Winter chicken dinner, some little supreme pizza.
Now, these restaurants are very casual restaurants. You don't have to dress up. I mean, it looks like a garage, actually, and you can sit outside. I mean, very, very, very relaxed.
Right. And talking very specifically about the importance of South Knoxville is some of its breweries, right? It's really, really known for its breweries, and it's kind of that kind of vibe. So it really is such a laid back place. You've got Print Shop Beer Company, very delicious. You've got Trailhead Beer Company. We've been there a time or two, also very, very good. One of our biggest points is Alliance Brewing, which we have a video of for you guys to check out as well. So if you want to check out Alliance Brewing, go check out that South Knoxville video tour. Another brewery that we want to talk about is Highwire Brewing, also very delicious. Let's take a look at some of the some of the menu here. I mean, we have mountain wheat, barrel-aged sour, the strongman ale. We have a hazy IPA, which is delicious, by the way. And we also have a couple of other sour beers. So they brew their own stuff there. Very delicious.
All of them do. Actually, all of the breweries, well, not only in Sevier Avenue, but local breweries, they do brew their own, and they all have their unique beers for sure.
All right, we've talked about what there is to do in South Knoxville, where some of the schools are, some of the major roads, grocery stores, but you're probably wondering, well, what's the housing situation like, right? You know, you come to our channel to listen about real estate and housing. Well, let's give it to you, right? I'm gonna kind of talk about specifically for South Knoxville because of how unique of a location it is. I wanna talk about where you can get acreage if you're wanting to live kind of secluded, but still have access to downtown Knoxville, about 15 to 20 minutes away, versus where you can have more suburban or urban living closer to the Tennessee River, closer to that old Sevier, closer to Island Home, and things like that. Now, to talk about some of our urban spots, we've got Island Home Park. And the significance of Island Home Park is that this is where you start getting a little bit less acreage and a little bit more proximity to your neighbors. And the reasoning for this development is because right here, as you can see, is the Knoxville Downtown Island Airport. This is where people really learn. I think they have an academy down there as well for flying. So if you're looking to get into flying, Island Home Airport is the way. Now, to get a little bit of a closer look at some of these locations here, Island Home Park, as you can see, you don't have tons of acreage, but you're also not exactly right next to your neighbor.
You're not passing the sugar to your neighbor through the window.
Right. I think you've got generally about half an acre of acreage in this location. If you look around here, this is a little bit more of a kind of a commercial location. And then if you start heading more towards this way, we start seeing a little bit more of that congested area once we get into Suttree Landing Park and things like that. This is where you start getting a lot more urban because you're getting real close to downtown, right? You have your James White Parkway right here, and then you have your Henley Street Bridge right here. This part is specifically where you start getting into your more compact areas. You have a lot more shopping, you have a lot more groceries, you have a lot more apartment complexes, you have a lot more traffic. Okay, so keep that in mind when you're looking where to go. This is your more urban area. So the northern part of South Knoxville is where you want to go if you want less acreage. Now, if you want a little bit more acreage and a little bit more seclusion, we can start heading more towards the Woodfield Park area. And this is where you start finding a little bit more acreage and a little bit more bang for your buck. As you can see, things are a little bit more separated, right? Some people want to be a little bit closer to each other, but some people want to be a little bit more secluded. So truly, it kind of is what it is for what you want to get into in this area.
And some of the green spaces you can see, I mean, there's few houses, you know, it's one here, one there. So the farther you are from downtown, the more acreage you're going to be able to find.
But you also kind of have to balance that line because the closer you get into Seymour, there is a little bit of development there, but there's also a lot more acreage in that area. So if you're looking for a lot of acreage, Seymour is actually a pretty good spot for you. All right, as we promised at the end of our video, we have a couple of highlighted points. There's 2 points that we want to talk about.
But first, you have to like, subscribe, and tap the bell for notification.
All right, thanks, Hilmar. Let's get back into it. We've got Ancient Lore Village. So if you've never heard of the Ancient Lore Village, this place is amazing if you're a Lord of the Rings fan. Check out some of the awesome scenery that is included in a one-night stay here at the Ancient Lore Village. And this is in South Knoxville. I think this specific place is about 20 minutes from downtown Knoxville. So you can have your absolute getaway of Lord of the Rings, right? Check this out right here. Here I've got a wonderful picture for you of the Ancient Lore Village so you can feel like you're hanging out with Gandalf in the Shire. And then here are some more pictures. I mean, there's plenty of activities to do there. There's some archery, there's delicious looking food. There's just so many things to do here. We're not gonna show you everything, but we really wanted to touch on this specifically. Also a very, very, very good wedding venue if you'd like to go there as well. So go ahead and check out the Ancient Lore Village. Again, this is about, I think, 20 minutes from downtown Knoxville. You hop on Chapman Highway, 15 minutes, 20 minutes down the way, you're in downtown Knoxville enjoying some big city living, and then you can go right back to the Shire once you're done. Now, let's say you take a left turn, okay, right up here before you get to downtown, right? On Martin Mill Pike, right? You come up this way and you run into this beautiful, beautiful place called the Bluffs. This is our second secret spot that we wanted to talk about. The River Bluff Wildlife Area is a gorgeous, gorgeous place that overlooks the entire city of Knoxville. If there's ever a place where you want to go and get some pictures and really just a beautiful spot to kind of get your mind off things and really enjoy nature, I mean, look at the views, right, from the Bluffs. You've got some incredible, incredible views. You can hang out at this spot. There's climbing, there's trails. See, look at this. There is, I mean, this is, again, some of the most beautiful sights you'll ever see are going to be, yeah, I mean, you can see all of this from the Bluffs. And really, there's not that many people that know about the Bluffs. It really is actually a hidden spot. I don't think Mom even knew about the Bluffs until I told her about it. So a great spot for you to hang out.
To wrap up, South Knoxville blends outdoor adventures, convenience, and strong community sense with room to breathe.
And this has been so special for us because we lived in South Knoxville for 12 years, I think it was. So, you know, this was wonderful that we got to highlight a community that's been growing so wonderfully in the past few years. So thank you for watching. And if you're thinking about moving here, please just hit us up. All of our information is in the description box below. Talk to us, call us, text us, get a Zoom meeting with us, whatever. We just want to help you make a smooth move to Knoxville, Tennessee.
See you next time.